Welcome back to Crossout, welcome back to a new patch update, and we're going to talk about all of the new stuff in Crossout patch 0.11.60, which is just released. We've had an awesome live stream this morning just trying out some of the new features. Figured this video would serve its purpose, which is to sort of just get in depth with all of the changes and just give a few of my thoughts on it, as we always do. So I have the patch notes here with me today, and we have a few different things that we have to look at. First and foremost, and the probably most important change of this patch, is the new pack. The new pack is called Mobi 935, and the Mobi 935 brings in, right there it is, in a regular and a deluxe version. This is the deluxe version, which we have showcased already, bringing in the very new cabin called the Cockpit. We're going to go into that in just a second. Besides that, we also have some new CKs for chain wheels. We have a new CK for boosters. You get a couple of equalizers, you get a hardcore engine, and we get all of these new beautiful looking paints. Now, the special thing about this cabin is that we get a speed buff whenever we are going over 75 kilometers an hour, and we use our boosters. As you can see, the icon down there in the bottom left corner, it shows 36% whenever we are boosting. This means that we have a 36% damage increase on our equalizers because of the cabin perk. You can also see the cabin perk activate whenever we boost. Let's see, right there, you can just barely see that it's shining. The blue one means that we're going above 75 kilometers an hour. Then it starts lighting. That sort of indicates that now we can use the perk. And then whenever we boost, you can see that white light turning on as well. Super nice little details into this new cabin. And if we take a look at the parameters here, there we go. It shows exactly what we get from it. So first of all, we get increases booster charge by 50%. And besides that, the heating speed by 30%. Now, this, I hope, means that, you know, they heat 30% slower, even though it says increase, so it should maybe heat faster. Don't really know, but it feels like it heats slower at least. I'm not going to go into full testing with that because I'm 99% sure. So let's just hope it's like that. Besides that, as I said, at speeds above 75%, each active booster increases damage. This is divided by the rarity of the booster. Common boosters are 3% each, rare is 6% each, and epics are 11% each. So if you have 10 boosters on your build, well, then you get 110% extra bonus. Right now we only have 36%, and as you can see, this actually scales with how many boosters you are activating. Right now I'm driving and I only activate my left mouse button boosters 18%, and I activate the right ones 18%, but if I activate both, bam, 36%. So it also depends on how many boosters you are actually using. If you're only using half of your boosters, well, then you only get half of the buff. I think this is important so that if you actually plan on playing this in a way where you benefit from that bonus speed, well, then it is to be considered if you want to have just all boosters bound onto one key, so you never miss out on all of the damage boost in case you forget to press a key. This update has, besides just the racing, also come with a new racing map. While I am mentioning this, I'm just going to load up the usual boring hover meta, I think a lot of people will describe it as, because sadly, and I think this was a hope for many people, hovers would no longer be the dominant part in races. It could to some extent also be true, as we now see two different new maps. The first map is actually live right now, so I feel like we should just go in here and take it for a little spin while we talk about what this new map has to offer. So here we are in the new map. This first new map here takes place on a desert area. That was a lot. Oh, no. Oh, God, okay. That was a lot of bumping. But nevertheless, this new map here takes place on a desert area. This map is a very fast map, so generally fast racing builds. That dude is actually doing really well considering that he's on wheels, or I am just terribly bad. That's probably a mix of both, but it offers like a speedy arena basically. This is also sort of the description of the map. Fast builds that are capable of going fast without exploding or going off of the map are sort of to be favored in here. This once again means that, you know, as you can see right here, hovers almost 600 kilometers an hour there, is by far the way to go for this. I am personally quite saddened about this because I think it's such a shame that hovers are always the dominant part in races. I was actually hoping that they would ban hovers, but they haven't. So, you know, this is kind of just the way that we have to go about it, but yeah, it's no fun, especially you can see I got quite lucky here and got a full enemy lobby of wheel builds, with which just kind of empathizes the absurdity in this. It is possible to do it with wheel builds as well, but the wheel builds do not look like a race car at all. Let's just put it like that. Let's finish up this race here, and then I'll show you the second map, because the second map, it has some interesting features, and I actually have some faith in that second map. It's, you know me, and I love drifting in this game, and oops. So drifting is also one of the features that I hope would be possible on these new maps. On the live stream, we did quite a lot of drifting in my one drift vehicle with no real success. This was sort of the only thing that worked, and this is also the, yeah, sort of, you know, the dominant thing here, just hovers with a lot of speed. I find that boring personally, but it is what it is. Hopefully we might see some more changes to this later on. But that's the first map. Let's get on to the second map. Can't really comment on that one as it is a pre-recording. I just tested it during the live stream. Had a nice little drifting session, so I had to save that lap. And I'll run that for you guys right now. So that's the two new tracks for you guys, both looking pretty interesting in my opinion. We have a variety of different maps. I'm gonna have to see what the map is actually like when it goes live, and we are gonna see different sorts of builds on the map. But my initial thoughts are that hovers are actually not gonna do as good on it. So to some extent, hopefully that is gonna be interesting. Another new feature of this patch is that we now, let me just get a wheel build here because that's going to be easier to show, is that we now have destructible environments. I briefly covered this in my previous video on this new patch, but as you can see here, the garage offers a wide variety of destructible environments as we go through it. And I think this is just, you know, the tip of the iceberg that we've seen right now. It's been known for some time now that the devs are messing around with this to see in what way they can create destructible environments for the game. And I'm really just hoping that we're going to see more of this, and also hopefully in live battles where we might see some houses fall apart or some cars parked on the side that will blow up when you hit them. Just all that sorts of stuff that will make the experience just a little bit more immersive while you go about playing it. No, oh, he's stuck there, that's why. But that is all in all very cool to see that new sort of feature, so I definitely hope that we will see more of that. We have a few changes to the garage as well. Let me just show you guys here. We can now select different weather types for the garage, and this is not just a thing in this new one here, or in the new basic garage. We can actually do this for all the garages. So if you go to the Horseman here, and we can go overcast day there, as you can see, we now have like sort of a very, very bad weather coming in. It basically looks like we can also go and say we want to have it dawn there, which is a bit darker. As you can see, there we go. Whoops, just exploded. And same thing goes for the Assault Force garage. So this is actually a thing for all three maps, which I personally really like. I think it's a nice little quality of life change. Just makes your game look a little bit more the way that you want it to look whenever you are chilling in your garage. And I think it's nice that they are giving us these options to personalize the stuff. Next to that, we will also be seeing Steppenwolves in raids. It's nothing huge. We have covered these raiders before, so I'm not going to go into a raid and show you guys. I'm honestly also do not know if there is even a Steppenwolf raid going at the moment. No, there is not, so we could do customs. But I've shown you guys these raiders before. We're going to see some of their weapons, tsunamis, cyclones and stuff offered in raids as well, so super hyped for that. Just like the fire starters, they also blow up quite easily because they have ammo boxes, so maybe that's going to be something that some of you guys will like. If you want to get the new parts but you don't want to buy the pack, well, then you can prestige your Lunatics faction, because they have now gotten all of these new parts into the prestige levels as well, alongside the drive pack, so you can now get a lot of prestige parts from the Lunatics faction. The tow missile has actually seen a little change, and that is a bit disappointing, but the only weapon that we are actually seeing a change to. We don't really see a change to any other weapons besides the tow. But now the camera controls are, as you can see, just a bit more intuitive here when it comes to there. You see how it goes red whenever we are on a target. It's just a little bit more target friendly now, and I think it's a cool idea, especially if you have a target that you want to log onto from a distance and you can't really tell, is that an enemy or not? Well, then you get the option to actually just see, yep, that is an enemy that I have in front of me. So if he's sitting still, we'll just release the missile, let it go, let it boost to him, kill him, and move on. Oh, wow, that is that a... Oh, it's not a Typhoon. Oh my god, that's so sick. That's very, very well done. Few different quality of life changes, like the icons down at the bottom has been changed as well, and when you go into combat, we have some of the combat markers for bases when you capture and stuff. That has also been changed alongside some of the icons in here. So a few just graphical updates there, and we have a few changes to some parts that now look a little bit different. The Explorer headlight has received a little bit of a change to it. Oh, not the headlight, but the, there we go, the decor. Let's see if we can get it down here. I actually don't have a spot for it. There it is. That one has had a bit of a appearance upgrade. Not really sure what they changed to it. I didn't pay too much attention to it before. I think it looks a little bit more detailed now without being 100% sure. And then there are just a few different bug fixes, but nothing too drastic that we want to touch upon them. I was hoping for this patch to also be a little bit of a weapon balance patch. We are seeing relics being way closer than they have ever been, but I still am quite against the fact that Rhaegar had a damage buff as well, as alongside the new perk. The perk is great, but I still feel like the damage is just a little bit over the top, or maybe just reduce the range of it or whatever. There's a lot of things that we can do, that they can do differently to, in my opinion, just balance that one out. But all in all, I feel like relics are really getting in a good spot where they sort of can compete, all of them, with each other or against each other. That is all for this update. If you want to see my full thoughts on this, well, then I really encourage you to go watch the live stream as well. If you haven't subscribed already, you better get going, because we're still closing in those 10K and we want to reach them soon. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one until next time. Bye bye.